Welcome to the Diva Details. Welcome to the Diva Details, where bold, confident women embrace life unapologetically. From love and sex to wellness and reinvention, we keep it raw, real, and powerful. No filters, no limits. Just fearless conversations to help you thrive. Let's dive in with Diva Mia and Diva Cat.
Hello, everyone. This is Diva Mia. I want to talk to you a little bit about the reciprocal relationship. When you are looking for the right person in life, you really need to look inward first. And I know a lot of people, they'll go out and they'll scan and they'll look for the person and they hope to get lucky and find somebody that they can convince that they're great and will fall madly in love with them. But that's not typically how things work in life. You tend to get exactly who you are. So if you're the type of person that's loyal and honest and loving, and you're the type of person that will get in shape, take responsibility for their own actions, you're more likely to get that back. It's more of a reciprocal relationship. So a reciprocal relationship means that your core values are going to be matched by the other person's core values. This is what gets you to the best alternative. If you've ever felt that you're the only one texting someone, you're the only one planning meetups, you're the only one calling, you're probably not in the right reciprocal relationship. Reciprocal relationships, they're not transactional. They're not tit for tat. They're enduring. They're long lasting. There's a huge connection when you find the right person that gives you a reciprocal relationship. Sometimes the connection lasts for a long time and sometimes it wanes. So don't think that just because you met a person that you had a really good connection with, that it's going to be your forever person. But you can say to yourself, this is what my expectations are. This is who I am. And this is what I expect in a relationship. If you give love to someone and they don't give you the same love back, it might be time for you to walk away. Relationships do ebb and flow, and relationships do change over time. However, the amount of care and consideration someone gives you shouldn't change. They should give you as much care and consideration as you give them. Otherwise, the relationship is extremely unbalanced. We need to make sure that we earn the love that we give, but we also are reciprocal on the love that we receive. You can't have resentment towards your partner because you're giving them so much love and emotion and they're not giving you anything back. The reason they're not is because you're allowing them not to. And a lot of times people don't want to go through the idea of rejection, and they don't want to go through the idea of walking away from a relationship that's not filling up their cup, if you will, or pouring into them. Problem is if it's not joy and happiness for you now, it's not going to be joy and happiness for you later. There are times when relationships hit bumps and roadblocks, but if you're clearly communicating with your partner what your expectations are and you're not receiving it back, the problem is not your partner. The problem is the fact that you're lowering your standards and your boundaries and staying in a relationship that's not good for you. You can meditate, you can journal, you can exercise, you can relax and try to focus on exactly what you want. But if you're not getting what you want, you can't put that on the other person. Sometimes it's time to just let them be and let them go. In life, the number one thing that's the most important is peace and joy. If you're in a relationship that's completely lopsided and you're not receiving that peace and joy back, you need to understand that you're not going to. You do need to communicate that with your partner, though. If you're not communicating with your partner, they may not know what your expectations are. So it is important for you to communicate clearly what you expect. It is also important to define what you want in a relationship and not to be afraid of it. I've learned that life is very short. When we don't realize life is short, sometimes we take things for granted and we allow people to treat us badly. And we think we're going to live a really long time. And it's almost like we're asleep at the wheel and just going through the motions. And life is meant to be lived on a daily basis. It is meant to be enjoyed on a daily basis. You should be with a person that makes you feel alive, and you should be making them feel alive. It should be 100% reciprocal. And until you find that true love, what are you really doing? Life is enjoyable. And I believe there's someone for everyone, but we all have to grow and mature to a level where we can find the right person for us. You need to make a list. You need to make a list of all the things you want in a person, in your partner. Make your list and list out every little detail. I don't care if they're tall, if they're short. You can list out any type of personal features that you would like and personality traits. You can list out that they have money or they don't. Or you can list out that they didn't come for money, but they came and they worked their way up in life. Whatever it is, write down everything you want and then make another column. And on the other column, list out who you are. And do you match that person? Now, for instance, if you say that you want somebody that's tall, you don't necessarily have to be tall, but they have to like someone that's shorter, right? You can't force yourself on anyone. The nice thing about living in the time that we live in right now is that there's so many people to choose from and there's multiple soulmates and you don't have to settle. You find exactly what you're looking for, but you need to match. If you're not in shape and you're expecting someone to be in perfect health and condition, you're not going to find what you're looking for. You really need to match. If you enjoy going for a hike, but they hate that and you really want a partner to go for a hike, don't settle. Now, I'm not saying you have to have the perfect person. However, you do need to get somebody pretty darn close to what you want for true happiness. And you should be happy with yourself and never look for happiness in the other. But I will say that when you're with someone that doesn't match your vibe or your personality type, it can really bring you down. You need to find someone that's equally yoked with you. Finding the perfect partner, it takes time. Sometimes people find it right out of the gate. My father took 40 years to find his perfect partner. So you have to remember that finding the perfect partner can be a journey and you don't want to rush it. You need to communicate openly no matter what. And sometimes communication requires that you involve a third party to bring you back together. You need to have boundaries and you need to make those boundaries so that someone can't erase those boundaries or cross your red line, if you will. If you want a partner that shows up on time, do you show up? Do you show up on time? If you want a partner that listens to you, do you listen to them back? Are you emotionally mature? Are you emotionally available? Are you present when your partner talks? And does your partner only talk about themselves and never ask about you? Are you giving a one-sided relationship where every time you call to talk to them, all they do is talk about themselves and never ask how you're doing? If you want a partner that remembers special dates or cares about you when you're ill, you need to care about them when they're ill and remember their special dates. Love needs to be very reciprocal because otherwise it's very imbalanced. So having a reciprocal relationship is having a healthy love style. You don't have to match love languages, but you do have to acknowledge the other person's love languages and give them the attention that they need. Some people need more attention than others. Some people don't want to be bothered so much, and some people want to have communication on a daily basis. And then you have the differences in men and women have certain differences. But if you're to truly be a supportive partner, you need to be there in the way that your partner wants you to show up. And you're there in the way your partner wants to show up by listening. There's no perfect person. Everyone has flaws. Everyone has histories. Some have trauma. Some have really bad toxic relationships they're recovering from. People have quirks, but you have to be able to enjoy the nice little quirks about different people. Some people love social media. Some people hate it. Some people love movies. Some people like to go for bike rides. You need to find your person that matches you because this is a lifelong journey. It is a nice goal to find that perfect person that you can grow old with. But sometimes you go through one or two before you find that one. Perfect doesn't equal 100% compatible. It may be that you have a lot of things that you're different on. The things you get along with are the ones that are non-negotiables. Replace the word perfect with aligned. If you're aligned correctly with the right person, you'll find that you are aligned in ways that you never imagined. They may like going on a bike ride where you like going hiking. So you guys go together to the park and you just go in different directions and meet up in the middle. What you want is what you want. It should not be what your friends want. It should not be what your parents want. You need to make sure that you are being true and honest to you. If you find someone that's right for you and your parents don't like them or your friends don't like them, but it's true to you, they might be your one. And don't listen to other people because other people's opinions don't really matter. Yours matters the most. For instance, if for me, trust is important. Someone with a growth mindset is important. Someone that's nice and kind and loyal. But other people may not need that. And they may need somebody that is financially stable or someone that's a bodybuilder or someone that's is a really good father figure, but they don't care about some of the other things. Everyone is different. Everyone needs and wants different things. You need to know how you love. And Some people pour their hearts out there and put their heart on their sleeve and show it to everyone, while other people, they're more restrained. Now, that doesn't mean that those two types of people can't get along, but you need to come to some middle ground. People have different attachment styles. Attachment styles are big right now in the therapy world if you go to therapy. And different attachment styles can get along. You just need to know what your partner's attachment style is so you can understand and interpret what they're meaning when they say certain things. Your love language is so important. It's nice when you can match love languages, at least one of your love languages matches, because then you know that you're actually fulfilling one person's true nature. Your communication style is important too. So if you like to talk softly and have discussions, and when you get upset to take a break and then walk away and then come back, that's a communication style. Other people like to be confronted and fight face to face. I personally don't want to have a confrontation. I like to walk away, get my thoughts together, and then come back. While some people say that they like to fight it out right there. Well, it kind of depends on what you're looking for, and that might be a non-negotiable for you. Past patterns do have an effect, and I do believe that sometimes we get too wrapped up in our past and we get stuck there, and we think that we have to analyze every part of our past to become better. And I don't think our past is there to necessarily be overcome. It is to be understood, but some of it's good. Even some of the stuff that say is caused by trauma, some of it was actually a good thing. It might have made you stronger. Don't look at your past as a bad thing. Look at your past as a history and a learning experience, and take all the lessons that you can from your past to grow into your future and to grow into the future with the right partner. There are red flags that people give out. I can't disagree with that. And red flags, you have to make sure that you don't allow those. Because if you allow red flags in your life, you're allowing someone to treat you the way you don't want to be treated. There are preferences in life on your list, and there's priorities. And the priorities that you make are important. Preferences may or may not happen. So for instance, maybe I want someone that's 6'3", but I'm okay with that because that's a preference. But I have to have somebody that's emotionally mature. That's a priority. You need to make sure that you list out exactly what you want and exactly what you need, and then focus on it. You don't have to go on all the dating apps. You might meet someone on a dating app, but you might just bump into the right person. Fate has a funny way of just bringing the right person into your life. The best way to meet people, I think, is through friends and different types of clubs and organizations that we're interested in. There's an app called Meetup that you can meet people through. There's different dating apps if you need to, and then friends of friends. And, don't be afraid to go on the blind dates. The blind dates, you'd be amazed how many times your friends will match you up with somebody that gives you a really good vibe or really good chemistry. And sometimes it's someone from your past, maybe someone you haven't seen for a long time. Chemistry is great, but it fades unless people put the work into the relationship. You have to align. You have to have similar values. If you don't have similar values, it's really hard to stay together. That's why I think a lot of people in the same political party or the same religious background, or like if they came from small towns or if they came from big cities, those tend to have similar basic core values. And when people meet that have those types of values, they tend to have strong chemistry that lasts and can last. You also have to have a shared pace. So if you're a go-getter, someone that likes to get stuff done, and your partner is not, they either have to get out of your way or they have to jump in. You need to figure out whether that's going to work for you. You have to be both mutually emotionally available, because a lot of times it's bad timing. So if someone's going through a breakup, or if someone's spouse just passed away, it may not be the right time for someone. You also need to know if you're building in the right direction. The perfect partner, or the partner that aligns with you, will help you grow. Together, you will be stronger, not weaker. Together, you will be better. Together, your love will grow. Together, you'll be able to sort through life and realize that life is wonderful together. And you'll notice that together, you're stronger than you are individually. Instead of asking, what do I want? Maybe you should ask yourself, would I date me right now? Are you in a place with your physical health, with your mental health, with your emotional health, with your financial health, that you can even offer something to someone? If not, maybe it's time to glow up and go inward. Maybe it's time to look inside and grow as a person, and then you'll find the right person for you. Nothing's worse than finding a person that doesn't match what you're looking for, spending time with them and not working on you, and then missing out on the right person for you. Are you emotionally open? Are you secure? Do you have emotional issues? Do you fight with yourself? Do you argue? Do you give yourself bad self-talk? It might be time to work on your own personal vibe. So just remember, there's no perfect person. The only way to find your person is to get to the place where you have found yourself and you're happy with yourself and you bring joy to yourself. And once you fully enjoy yourself, you're going to find the person that's right for you. I wish you all the luck. I wish you all the love. And I hope that you find exactly what you're looking for in life and love. Aloha. This is Diva Mia signing off.
Thanks for tuning in. Like, subscribe, and drop a comment. We'd love hearing from you. Visit thedivadetails.com to connect. See you next week for more.
Diva Details podcast and website are intended solely for informational and entertainment purposes. The content provided does not constitute professional, medical, financial, or legal advice. We are not licensed medical practitioners, financial advisors, or legal professionals. Always consult with a qualified healthcare provider for medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment. Any financial topics discussed are based on personal opinions and experience and should not be considered professional advice. The content provided does not constitute legal advice. The Diva Details and its affiliate contributors and guests are not liable for any losses or damages arising from the use of our content. The opinions expressed in the podcast are solely those of the speakers and do not necessarily reflect the views of any affiliated organization, sponsors, or partner. All facts discussed in the podcast are researched and accurate to the best of our knowledge at the time of recording. Information may change over time. No guarantees are made regarding the accuracy, completeness, or reliability of any statements or opinions presented. It is the responsibility of the listener to verify any and all facts that may influence their decision. This podcast is for information and entertainment purposes only and should not be considered professional advice.